And all of us are locked arm in arm in this fight, arm in arm, to make sure that we live in a country where no one, man or woman, works full-time and still lives in poverty. Not in our America, not in the America that you and I believe in. And I'll tell you something else. We know it. You and I, we've been in this fight, in this struggle before. There's going to be money aligned against us. There will be interest, powerful interests aligned against us. But I tell you, brothers and sisters, together we will win. We are stronger together than their money. We are stronger because we are on the side of right and justice and fairness. That's what this struggle is about, and we will be victorious. You know, I want to say a word about my party, the Democratic Party, because there's so much important work for my party to do. But I want to say a word about the Democratic Party that I believe in. I believe in a Democratic Party of big ideas. I believe in a Democratic Party with a little backbone and guts to fight for people. And you tell me whether you also believe in a Democratic Party that stands up for those who have no voice, the poor, the uninsured, the disenfranchised, the forgotten middle class in America. That's what this struggle is about. It's what our party is supposed to be about. We need to fight for those that we have always fought for. And I'll tell you what kind of Democratic Party I don't believe in. I don't believe in a Democratic Party with half ideas, baby steps, poll-driven, focus group-driven. We need to lead. America needs us to lead. We need to take America to the place that it's capable of going. And raising the minimum wage here in the state of Ohio, it's just the first step, because we need to raise the minimum wage across the United States of America. In every single state. You know, I don't know about you, but that crowd of politicians in Washington that keep voting against the minimum wage, I'd like to see one of them try to live on $5.15 an hour. But there's more to do. There's more to do. We ought to be expanding the earned income tax credit. I'll tell you something else we ought to do. We ought to make it easier for workers to organize in the workplace so that we can put unions in the workplace so that working people actually have a voice and can collectively bargain. It's all about democracy. That's what this group is about. That's what our cause is about. Listen, if anybody in America can join the Republican Party by signing their name to a card, any worker in America ought to be able to join a union by doing exactly the same thing. Now, I'll tell you something else we need to do. You know, all of us saw those pictures, right, coming out of New Orleans after the hurricane hit. Pictures coming out of the lower Ninth Ward of New Orleans. We have a fundamental question to ask ourselves as Americans. Do we really believe, in an America where we all have equal worth? I believe it to my soul. You know, my father worked in a mill all his life, never went to college. My grandparents who helped raise me live right up the street. They worked in mills all their life. I'm here to tell you, my father's worth as much as any president of the United States. Always has been, always will be. But if we really believe that, when are we going to start living together? I'm telling you, those pictures coming out of New Orleans were disturbing. Not because of New Orleans. It exists all across America. Poor people clustered together. People of color clustered together. Everybody knows what happens. The fluent whites, they move out to the suburbs, right? You know, they send their kids to private schools, right? Let me ask you something. Are rich white people the only people in America that are entitled to have their kids go to good schools? Are they the only Americans that are entitled to a decent, safe place to live? That's what this struggle is about. Let me tell you about one idea. How about instead of doing what we're doing today in our cities all across America, we have 1 million new housing vouchers for poor families, not to live in public housing in poor neighborhoods, but to allow them to move into better neighborhoods with better schools, safer for them, safer for their families. And what about all our young people who desperately want to go to college? We got one right here. They can't afford to go. Bush and his gang took billions of dollars out of the federal budget to send kids to college, financial aid for kids to go to college. And while I'm on that subject, something most of you would have had, you got real lives, you got no reason to pay attention to this, but I want to mention something to you. The budget that this president submitted to the Congress this year, more tax cuts for the richest people in America, billions, and this is actually worse. Stay with me on this. This is actually worth billions of dollars in subsidies and tax breaks to the biggest oil companies in America. Now, you tell me, are you worried about whether Exxon's making enough money? In the same budget, billions of dollars taken away from Medicaid, health care for poor children, money taken away from nutrition programs for the disabled, nutrition programs for the poor, nutrition programs for poor children, for seniors. Now think about this for a minute. Billions of dollars for Exxon at the same time that we're taking away health care from poor children. It is immoral. It is absolutely immoral, and the country needs to hear from us on this.